latest novel, Forgiving Thyme. I'm just going to do a short reading for you as a taster to encourage people to possibly purchase this excellent novel, which is, I must say, is a real page-turner. It's quite an intriguing title, Forgiving Thyme, and the novel itself is incredibly intriguing, full of some very interesting characters. There's a great storyline, and also it's sort of life-affirming, I've found, in many ways, in that no matter what troubles we have in our lives, if we sort of like battle on and going in with what we heard in church today, we always have friends to look after us. And I think that's one of the strong messages that come across in Liz's latest novel. So it's sort of very fitting that we had today's service as well. This seemed to fit very well with Father Tim's sermon, etc. So please bear with me. I'll just read, just a couple of pages to give you a taste. And this is chapter 3. And it sort of sets up the story and hopefully gives you something to think about for the rest of the book. Okay. It was the first time John had tried one of the afternoon teas at Sue's place. He seldom had time for such luxuries. Being the only incumbent in the parish, his workload was vast. The organ was his first challenge, his second to petition for a curate. The matching blue and white china sat well with the scalloped cloths and 1950s decor. The cake plate, delivered by a willowy waitress in a frilly apron, was generously filled with bite-sized offerings, and as he savoured his first choice, a plain scone with a crunchy cheese topping, and opened the newspaper he had picked up from the newsagents next door, he wondered if his predecessor had been a fan of the cafe. Father Robert Price had been nearing retirement, and from what he had gathered by talking to members of the congregation, not up for a fight over the organ. It had demanded all his innate ability in conflict resolution to help the parochial church council reach a consensus. He guessed his success had been due in part to the gallons of tea he had drunk playing musical chairs with different combinations of parishioners and Marion Gray's rock buns, but that was only half the story. Now the decision had been made. How to fund the project was the real problem. He had no experience in raising vast amounts of cash. Could there be thousands waiting to be claimed from some obscure charity? He would have to ask Daisy to investigate. Sadly, the money in a parish never stretched as far as people would like, and with a bill for the new heating system as well as a substantial deposit for the organ falling due in the next few weeks, the situation had become urgent. With all this going on in his mind, he didn't see her walk in. It was only as he lowered the paper to tuck into a rum baba that he became aware of her, seated at the window. He selected a slice of fruitcake. She was staring at nothing, the empty coffee cup her only companion. She had managed to squash her slight frame into the corner, as if she wanted to take up as little space as possible, almost as if, he thought, willing herself to disappear altogether. He was trying not to stare at her, but her face seemed familiar, and he didn't want to make a faux pas so soon after his appointment by ignoring her. He poured out another cup of the smoky brew and pretended to skim the headlines while he tried to work out where they had met before. Could she be a parish secretary? One of the staff at the cathedral? A deacon from another parish? The pages fluttered through his fingers like fivers at a fair as he moved from business to sport without reading a word, and continued to take furtive peeks between mouthfuls of tea. She didn't look up as he rustled his paper and made a show of folding it away in a vain attempt to attract her attention. He watched as moments later she gathered up her coat and the parcel on the seat next to her, and prepared to leave. Shuffling out from behind the table, he dragged the cloth with him, tipping his empty teacup sideways into the saucer. He hastily reset the china, and only just managed to get to the door before her. "Don't I know you?" he said, with what he hoped was a friendly smile. Her expression was blank. He held out his hand. "John Driver, St. Lawrence's." Well, there we are. So I hope that's given you a little bit of intrigue as to what might happen. Who is this person? But you will find out. It's a lovely read, and for those of you who bought it, I know you will really enjoy it. Thank you very much.